Rick, you pretty confident about your team bouncing back from the Florida game?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I know that we obviously look at what we do after every game, and I don't think anybody's happy with the way we played at Florida, but this league is good. It's hard to win. It's hard to win in any league, and the fact is we didn't play our best basketball, and we got beat, and we're going to have to play, obviously, the next game always looms big when you're, whether you win or lose, the next one's a big one, and you guys know that, but we're going to have to play better. We're going to have to take care of some of the mental breakdowns that we had in that game, and to be able to win any more games the rest of the year, because you look at our schedule, it's only going to get tougher and tougher, starting with Auburn Saturday afternoon. And you know, Bruce has done what he always does, a terrific job with this team, and he's going to get the most out of them every year, and as hard as they play, and knows what he's going to look for in his different matchups that he's going to try to seek out. So we're going to have to be on edge and know that we've got to play better.
Were there more mental breakdowns than usual?
There was more defensively. I mean, we've won games. I mean, we had some really good shots that didn't go in, but that's part of the game. I mean, but we can't let that affect what we do on the defensive end. And when we got the lead in the game, we didn't do what we needed to do on the defensive end, and that's what let the game get away from us. And there was, some defensive breakdowns that we can't have.
Coach, you've been doing this a long time. Are you surprised still when you play as good as you did on Saturday, and then 3 or 4 days later play like you did in Florida?
You know, I don't think I'm surprised. I don't. I think it's really hard to be a great basketball team, because young people today have a lot of distractions that can come their way, and if you're not on top of it, as much as we try to be, but still there's a lot of things going on out there. And for some guys, I mean, you know, being where we are, they've worked hard to get us here, but it's hard to not only get here, but it's really hard to stay here, and it's really hard to do it night in and night out. And to do that, you know, you've got to have a state of mind to where you can stay focused one day at a time, and never, ever, ever take somebody for granted, think it's going to be easy, because it's not easy. I don't care who you play. It is not easy, and we've got to do a better job. But you know, I can tell you, am I surprised? I'm not, because I've had teams that have gone through it, had some that handle a little bit better, but I don't think I've ever had one that handled it all perfectly.
What were the conversations and meetings like yesterday, I guess, once you guys got back here and had a chance to reconvene?
Talked about, you know, what we didn't do, mainly defensively. You know, that's what, again, we can talk about our shots. I mean, we had opportunities there to shoot the ball, but we can't let the fact that we missed open shots at times affect us on the defensive end, and that was really the crux of what it got down to. We fought back in the game as we got off to a poor start with some defensive breakdowns, but we fought back in it. And then once we got the lead, we just and give them credit. They fought back, and for whatever reason, we weren't as sharp as we needed to be on the defensive end.
Go for it.
How do you feel you all defended Colin Castleton, and how much is that matchup going to prepare you for this weekend with Broome?
Well, I don't think we defended him as well as we needed to. I mean, you know, he's a really good basketball player, and we knew going in that not only is he a guy that they look to score, but they look for him to facilitate a lot, and he's a terrific player. And we weren't disciplined enough. We had every time we reached, he made us pay, and we should be by now too experienced to reach on a guy like that, because good players, good teams, if you try to go for gambles and steals, and if you don't come up with them, they're going to make you pay, and I thought he did that.
How important is it that you know what you're going to get from Julian and Tyreek night in and night out?
I think it's important with every guy, you know, having, and again, some nights you miss shots. You can live with that, but I think the key with not just those two guys, but everybody, the fact that they will take shots when they're there, and but on the other end, we've got to know night in and night out from every guy that we're going to get their best effort, and obviously their focus on the defensive end, and just on offense we execute. Like the other night, we got a high quality of shots. We didn't make the shots, but we've won games where we didn't make shots. We won a game against University of Maryland when we shot 29%, and we've had games where we haven't shot well, but we won them because we defended for the most part. We didn't do that the other night.
What needs to happen for y'all to get more offensive consistency from Julian?
Well, I think it's a mindset on his part too, understanding, but it's not that we want to try to put the whole load on him, but we've talked to him about being aggressive, understanding how we need him to play. And you know, the other night it showed up, I think he only had 4 shots, but he got to the free throw line, and we need him to continue to do that. But I would, whether it's him, Olivier, anybody on our team, I mean, you look at everybody's game plan, has been all year, will continue to be until we make them do otherwise. They're going to work hard at taking away our perimeter game and have us put the ball inside with our post guys, and our post guys are going to have to give us something. And it not necessarily may not be a shot. It might just be playing inside out. But people are obviously concerned about the perimeter guys, and so we need, whether it's Julian or Tyreek or whoever, we need those guys, Josiah, Urosh, Jonas, Tobey, we need those guys to help us.
Rick, against Texas, you made 68.5% of your two-point shots, but you made less than 31% at Florida. Is two-point shooting more important to this team than three-point shooting?
I think it's all important. I mean, shots you want good quality shots, and whether you get, I mean, you don't get many great shots in college basketball when you play against high-level teams. I mean, they're going to guard, they're going to take things away, and like we try to work hard at running people off the three-point line. Other teams will do the same thing to us. So if you could get some rim shots, some mid-range shots, I mean, we believe in the mid-range game. Some people don't, we do. But we had some of those shots the other night that we didn't make, but those are shots that we practice and that we believe in. But they're all important.
How challenging is it for a freshman to strike the balance of being aggressive, but like you said, not feeling like they need to carry the load offensively?
Well, I think it's a balance, but again, we're not asking them to carry the load. We're asking, you know, we got a group of guys that we think that certainly, you know, we can spread it around, but it goes back to consistency. That's what it goes back to. Not only, you know, Julius, but I mean, Julian, talking about him carrying the load. It's not so much about, again, one guy carrying the load. We just need consistency and balance from guys each and every game that we know what we're going to get.
Coach, when you go small with Josiah at 4, Olivier at 5, where's the line when you're trying to make people match up with you as opposed to you matching up with them? Is there something you see where you're like, it's not working, we got to go big?
Yeah, well, that's what I think is great about this team is we can do that. And, you know, we did it the other night. You know, we saw that, you know, we started out the way we'd been playing, and we went to the bigger lineup. And then it goes back to, you know, again, defensively, we're not going to get away from who we are on the defensive end. That's what we built this team on, and it goes back to, can we guard the way we needed to guard? And we did a decent job, but when we got the lead, we didn't do a very good job, and that was the difference in the game. And you know, we work hard with our post guys trying to guard a lot of different people, but the other night we were just too undisciplined in the post, and Castleton took advantage of it.
Coach, a little more about Auburn. They lost some key pieces from last year's team, but what is it that they're doing real well this year, and what might be a big challenge?
I think what Bruce does with this team every year, he's going to take the pieces he's got and he's going to put the puzzle together, and I think he's done it again this year. You know, they're certainly a different team, but every year he's going to take what he's got and he's going to get guys playing at a high. They're going to play hard. You know, they're going to execute what he wants them to do, and they are a team that, you know, they get going, they're explosive, they get down, they're going to keep grinding away with it, but you know, he does a great job year in and year out with whatever pieces he has. He's going to put them together.
Coach, one of the, I guess, most unusual things about the other night was you guys just had 7 assists, and you lead the conference in that. Was that?
You miss open shots. You miss open shots. You don't get assists. You got to make shots. I mean, and all those those mid-range shots were all passes that we didn't make.
Talk about the toughness of this league. Just how big of an opportunity is this for you guys to?
Every game you play, it's not just us. It's everybody. Everybody's got an opportunity every night to do something to get themselves in position. I mean, February is a month where everybody's fighting to try to, you know, secure something in the postseason, and it's not just us. It's everybody. Everybody's got something to play for, and you've got to be ready to play every single night. And I don't think there's a team in the country that if they're not ready to play, that can't get beat this year. I mean, I think that's the one thing that we've seen up to college basketball right now. You've got to be on top of it, and if you're not, you're going to lose.
Take one more.
This is a little off topic, but would you favor going from a 30-second clock to a 24-second clock?
No, I think the 30-second clock is a great clock for college basketball. I think 24 is a little bit too difficult for college players to play with. People don't realize how hard it is to play with a 24-second clock, and the fact that we got 30, and I think it's right for our game.
Coach, thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.